Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Rabobank Arena for tonight's international exhibition between the United States and Guatemala Arena national soccer teams. I'm Nick Wynn. I'll be talking you through the action of what we hope will be an exciting exhibition between the United States and Guatemala. Both teams are preparing for next month's Pan American Cup, which will take place in Guatemala City. So this matchup will serve as preparation for both teams as they get ready for the Pan American Cup. Of course, many players from both teams are members of the MASL, the United States National Arena Soccer League. Many of these players just come off a season that just ended in the MASL and are now starting their international campaigns. For Guatemala, that started last night when they played Ontario. In Ontario, unfortunately for Guatemala, they lost 6-1, so they'll be looking to improve on that result tonight against a United States team, which has not played since last year at the World Mini Football World Cup in Tunisia. Unfortunately, the United States was not able to defend their championship in that World Mini Football World Cup. They lost to Mexico in the round of 16 in overtime, 4-3. So this will be the first first action in 2018 for the United States National Arena Soccer Team. They will also be participating in the Pan American Cup next month in Guatemala City. The United States also has a couple of other warm-up games scheduled for May. They will be taking on the national team of Canada. One game will take place in Muskegon, Wisconsin, and then the next game will take place across the border in Mississauga, which is near Toronto in Canada. Those games are on May 5th and May 6th, the May 5th game being in Muskegon and the May 6th game being across the border in Canada. So both teams trying to get prepared for the Pan American Cup, which will take place next month. That Pan American Cup will be in mini football. Now, there's some slight changes between the two games. Obviously, in indoor soccer, the teams play 6-a-side with a goalkeeper, and it's indoors with dasher boards. Mini football has 7 players and takes place outdoors. There is some barriers on the sides of the field, which differentiate somewhat from futsal, another game that you may be familiar with. But that game will, that cup will be in the mini football format. So kind of an interesting change. That was one of the things that gave the United States trouble in the World Cup last year in Tunisia, was most of their players were used to the arena soccer format. And the mini football formats tended to kind of throw them for a loop, as Mexico had some players that had more experience in that format. So they will play here. Not a lot of changes, and obviously they're looking to get fitness levels ready and acclimate to their new teammates. So a lot of the guys are teammates. The U.S. team has 3 players from the Ontario Fury and a couple players from the San Diego Sockers. And here we go. Action is live as Guatemala starts with the ball. The starters for Guatemala, we're looking for number 8, Patrick Ruiz, as he just takes a shot and is cleared off the line. We're also have starter Jose Perez and starter Carlos Lopez. We also have Diego Cienfuegos starting for Guatemala, as well as Christian De Leon and Miguel Pais. I have not got a number yet on the goalkeeper, but I'll fill you in on that when we get that. For the United States team starting is Marcus Jordan on the ball now with the shot. Just missed. Now on the ball is Frank Teyu, who many of you indoor soccer fans may be familiar with. He is the 3-time reigning MVP in the MASL for the Sonora Soles. And now just coming onto the field is Bryant Farber, as well as Matt Germain, and in goal is Boris Pardo. So back to the action. Nice save there by the Guatemalan keeper, Byron Orozco. Oh, and the shot comes off from Farber. He looks to retrieve it in the corner. Tried to clear out, but it is captured by Orozco, who will look to start the action downfield. Guatemala regrouping in their own end. Lots of action to start. Obviously, Guatemala trying to come off on the right foot after that big victory last year, or that big defeat yesterday against the Fury. Now Guatemala content to keep possession. Patrick Ruiz on the ball, looking to set up his teammates as he crosses midfield. Back to Carlos Lopez, who will hold it. Nice pass to himself off the boards from Diego Cienfuegos. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it for Guatemala. The United States will take possession. And we have Israel Cisse of the Ontario Fury now taking it across midfield. He'll play it across the field. And they'll come back from Matt Clare trying to set something up. Some shifting action for the United States, gets it into the attacking zone as Uzi Teyu is brought down, but no foul called by these referees. These referees are from the MASL, so those of you who are fans of that league may find them familiar from league games. Uzi Teyu now brings it back, and a shot off the dasher boards. Farber will look to recapture the ball. That was Nelson Santana with the shot from the Baltimore Blast. Now the US will regroup. Some players will change on the fly. Still looking to find Teyu, and obviously you know why. He set a goal-scoring record this past year for Sonora. He actually broke, I believe, his own record. He's one of the more proficient players in indoor soccer history in the United States. United States loses possession to Guatemala as they'll try and spring the fast break. A long shot there from Miguel Pais comes to nothing. Here Pardo will bring it across midfield, holding possession, playing that sweeper-keeper role. United States weaves, trying to find some space and some openings there to attack. Guatemala doing a good job muddling up the middle of the field, forcing the United States to kind of go down the sides. Those long passes just aren't finding the home for the United States. And now almost a quick turnover, but the United States does manage to keep possession. A good crowd here at Royal Bank Arena, some folks still filing in. I would say it's about 50-50, a lot of Guatemalan support, and of course a lot of U.S. support. Nothing too vocal yet, although the American Outlaws down in the north end zone are making a little bit of noise. You hear some vuvuzelas in the audience. So I'm sure as the game progresses. Oh, and here we go, a turnover, quick turnover for Guatemala, and they'll try and spring something on the break. But the U.S. is able to come back and capture possession. Guatemala content kind of to sit back in their own defensive zone and let the U.S. come at them. They have been able to spring a couple of quick counterattacks, so you can see why they might be wanting to play that kind of style. And here we go, a long searching ball for Frank Tayu, and can't find it, it goes out of play. And we'll have a kick in here for the United States. Chipped into Tayu, and he finds the back of the net. Frank Tayu with the goal for the United States. I'm sorry, Frank Tayu with the goal. That's going to come in the 9th minute here. in the 11th minute here for the United States to make it 1-0. Just a beautiful one-time kick with his left foot from, I'd say, about 15 yards out on the left side, finding that bottom right-hand corner. And the Guatemalan goalkeeper had no chance. Brian Orozco there in the net. And you see, Taiyu is quite a talent. His older brother Uzi also on this team. They both play for that Sonora side, which won the MASL championship against Baltimore this year. Frank Taiyu, 6'1", only 28 years old, so he's still got quite a career ahead of him, breaking some more records in the MASL. So the United States leads 1-0. Oh, and a quick turnover here, and Farber tries to find, that's Manny Villegas, who unfortunately just missed a wide open net, hitting it off the dasher boards there on the end. Oh, and almost a nice back heel goal by Villegas, but he just missed it. Brian Farber has been really active in the attacking zone. He's wearing the captain's armband tonight for U.S. side. He's a longtime fixture for the San Diego Sockers. Some quick 1-2 play for the U.S., but unable to find anything, and now Guatemala will take it. We'll see if they try and establish some possession here and go right on the counter. A long pass there from Jose Perez, trying to find somebody in the corner and is unable to do that. The United States will take back possession again. Now some changes on the U.S. side, and they will be content to hold possession again. Trying to find a long sweeping ball down to the left. Oh, a nice pass out in front there for Marcus Jordan of the Ontario Fury. That was Corey Murray, his teammate on the Ontario Fury. Almost found him right in the middle for a goal. And now Guatemala on the counter. The shot just to the right. I think Pardo had it even if he had been on goal. Now moved out to the front, and a turnover here, but that's Matt Clare, and he'll be content to kind of hold possession. Unfortunately, turns it over in the corner, but comes back up with the ball. A rather obvious foul right in front of the goal box. And the kick of the ball there. That is Diego Cienfuegos, who is kind of hot. I think he believed he got fouled at that end and kind of had a retaliation there. But no card shown, just a simple foul. He has not been sent to the penalty box. And the United States will restart play. Nice ball down to the corner for Marcus Jordan. He'll try and battle it there on the half wall. And unfortunately can't come up with it. Guatemala takes possession again, and they'll again look to go right on the counterattack. Guatemala had some sustained possession in their own offensive zone, but now a quick turnover. Oh, and some nifty crack work. Oh, there by Matt Clare, and he's taken out from behind. That was a dirty play, I would say, from Guatemala. It was kind of overshadowed by the scoring chance, but the United States missed top and to the left at the goal. It was really some crafty footwork there by Matt Clare, and then he was elbowed from behind. Referees might have played advantage there, but came with naught for the United States. Now Taiyu comes back there to Farber. Farber on the ball, trying to find Taiyu in the middle. Now he's going to turn. Oh, maybe a handball there in the box, although it was waved off by the referee. Could have been incidental contact. Really good chance for Taiyu. He is combining very well with Farber to start this game. Guatemala will hold possession here, which is something we have not seen. Receiving a lot of instructions from their bench. It comes with nothing. They just can't find bodies in the attacking zone. As we go under 5 minutes here in the first. Pardo now someone coming into the attack. Giving the ball back over to Matt Clare. And Cisse will try and start something. Oh, he brings it across the midfield stripe, looking for a shot. Oh, and it's blocked right out in front. It was a nice bit of work by Israel Cisse, and then Nelson Santana dropped the ball off to him with a really nice pass. Oh, now some confusion between Cisse and Pardo. Cisse will get the ball out of danger, but that was a scary bit there for the United States. Oh, Villegas was open. Now Guatemala comes back on the counter, and an easy shot saved by Pardo. I believe that's either Guatemala's first or second shot on goal. They've had some shots that have been missed, but I think right now the United States is kind of bossing the game, and I think because of that we're going to see a timeout here. I believe Guatemala has called this timeout. You can see the United States is somewhat better on the ball than Guatemala, so the counterattack may be a good option for the Guatemalans. Unfortunately, nothing has come of it just yet, and they don't have that kind of weapon like Dayu in the attacking third to finish those kinds of balls. As we said, a good crowd here tonight. This is the second international exhibition that Rabobank Arena has hosted. Last year hosting a match between the United States and Mexico. That was played in preparation for that World Mini Football World Cup in Tunisia. That game the United States won by 1 goal. It was a really exciting, entertaining game. It was scrappy. Fans really enjoyed it. This crowd will be somewhat smaller. Obviously, Mexico draws a huge crowd no matter where they play in the United States, whether it's the national outdoor team or the national arena team or the national women's team, what have you. But there is quite a bit of Guatemalan support here in the arena, and I'd say a really good crowd. There is some talk of Bakersfield joining the MASL, a team coming into Rabobank Arena. Of course, there are 3 teams that already play in California with the Ontario Fury and the San Diego Sockers and the Turlock Express just up the road here from Bakersfield. So there would be some natural travel partners if Bakersfield did want to go that route. Timeout, I do have to correct myself, was taken by the United States team. Bernie Lillevant, the acting head coach for tonight's team, may have just wanted to settle his guys down and get them a bit of a rest. Pardo bringing the ball across half field. So you Ontario Fury fans will be familiar with Bernie. He's the head coach and director and owner of the Ontario Fury. Bernie is normally the general manager for the United States team, but he is serving in that role as Phil Salvaggio, the head coach of the San Diego Sockers, who is normally the head coach for the national team, and a shot there for Guatemala just high. He has a prior commitment, so Bernie has stepped in to fill in as the head coach for the team. Obviously familiar with several of the players, or all of the players, as being the general manager, and of course with 3 players from his own Ontario Fury on the national team roster. Oh, I'll tell you, tried to make a nice move, gave up the ball, and now Guatemala's got a 2-on-1. Oh, Cienfuegos off the left post. Had a nice move to free himself, but just missed the goal mouth. Patrick Ruiz with a really nice move to free Cienfuegos. The shot. Oh, and there's a goal for Guatemala. And it is Patrick Ruiz who ends up finishing that move for Guatemala in the 17th minute here in the first. Cienfuegos had a shot that just went off the keeper. I was kind of surprised. I'm not sure who that was in the box, that he didn't turn and shoot on goal, but he managed to find an open Cienfuegos to finish the goal for Guatemala. That matches their output last night against Ontario. It was a really nice drop-off pass to find Cienfuegos. I'm sorry, to find Ruiz there for the goal. A good bit of build-up play from Cienfuegos, who's kind of been the instigator in the attacking zone thus far for Guatemala. Now another 2-on-1 for Guatemala. Oh, and off the bounce, it's a goal for Christian De Leon. They're called a golazo. A beautiful play on the 2-on-1. Took the deflection off Boris Pardo, and on the one-time shot, did not even let the ball hit the ground, managed to finish on the left-hand side, beating Pardo, and now Guatemala takes a 2-1 lead. Those counterattacks that just were not working to begin the game have sprung Guatemala here at the end of the first. So De Leon in the 18th minute. Now the United States will try and come right back to even the score. Oh, a nice little chip in on front. Tayu finding Matt Germain, who was unable to finish right in front of the goal. Oh. Nice save there by Brian Orozco, and he will call timeout for Guatemala. Guatemala will take their first of their 4 timeouts. As you see on your screen there, the effort is on to bring an MASL franchise to Bakersfield. Bakersfield in the past has had a franchise in the PDL, the developmental league, somewhat of a semi-pro league. Fortunately, that team left, I'd say, about 7 or 8 years ago. They didn't really have a great facility. They played at a local high school here in Bakersfield. Obviously, Rabobank Arena would be a really nice facility for arena soccer. Much like Ontario and San Diego, Rabobank Arena hosts a AHL hockey team. So, familiar with that league. There's some overlap there in terms of the seasons. Soccer, definitely a very popular sport in Bakersfield. The CSUB Roadrunners field both a men's and women's Division I team. They currently play in the Western Athletic Conference. They'll be moving to the Big West in a couple of years. CSUB is the alma mater of Jossie Zardes, formerly of the LA Galaxy, the U.S. national team, now playing for Columbus. The men's team won a couple of Division II national championships before making the move up to Division I. Under a minute now, and we have a foul by the sideboards. Corey Murray got tangled up there with a Guatemalan player, Luis Suarez. Those of you fans of the Las Vegas Legends may recognize Luis Suarez. That was his last team in the MASL. Las Vegas Legends currently on a hiatus, but hoping to come back for the next MASL season. Several of these Guatemalan players have MASL experience. Most of them play for mini football sides in Guatemala. In fact, 4 of them play for Lecistas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in Guatemala. And a couple for Plug and Play FC, which is an interesting name. Under 30 seconds now. Guatemala will try and get one last attack before the end of the period. A shot there by Luis Suarez. Nice save by Boris Pardo. Oh, and this might open up for the United States as the clock runs down. Oh! I really thought that they wouldn't have a chance there. That was Adrian Pulido from Turlock on that shot. A real nice clearance by Wanderlei Ruiz of Guatemala. And we will end that quarter and we'll go to the second here. 2-1 for Guatemala, and I have to say that the United States really controlled most of the possession for that quarter, although Guatemala was just very dangerous on the counterattacks. And we'd like to thank all of you joining us here on Facebook Live. Again, this is the United States' first game in 2018. But they will be back live May 5th and May 6th, taking on the national team of Canada. I'm sure there will be a live stream of that game, so stay tuned to the U.S. Association of 5-6-7 Football Facebook page, the national team Facebook page for live stream information and information on the rosters. So a lot of the players on the Guatemalan team, fixtures in that mini football league in Guatemala. Brian Orozco playing for Plug and Play FC, and then the four players from Lecistas, Christian De Leon, Jose Perez, Wanderlei Ruiz, and Patrick Ruiz. For the United States, it's somewhat similar. A lot of players, teammates, Boris Pardo, obviously a longtime fixture with the San Diego Sockers, as well as Brian Farber, tonight's captain. Matt Clare also plays for the Sockers. There are 3 Ontario Fury players playing for their head coach, Bernie Lillivois, tonight. Israel Cisse, along with Marcus Jordan and Corey Murray. Technically, there's also a 4th, the backup goalkeeper on the roster tonight, Brent Reese, who's wearing number 1, has signed for the Fury but has not appeared in a game yet for them, an official MASL game. He was on the roster for last night's game with the Fury against Guatemala and has done some time in the NPSL. That's where he comes from for the Fury. And 3 players from the Turlock Express, as we said, also in the Central Valley. Manny Villegas, Matt Germain, and Adrian Pulido. Pulido is the youngest member of this United States national team at just 23 years old. Nelson Santana, who's been a fixture for the Baltimore Blast, longtime player for the Baltimore Blast, 39 years old. He is the oldest player on this roster. So we'll try and get some names for you as Guatemala comes back out for the second. And it appears that we have Jose Perez, Miguel Pais, Patrick Ruiz, Brian Orozco will be in goal. And for the United States squad, we've got Pardo, again, still in goal with Manny Villegas, Israel Cisse, Nelson Santana, Matt Clare, and rounding out the 6 here with the ball is Matt Germain. United States will try and make some play off here in the right-hand corner. The clearance there from Orozco. Guatemala trying to find that long pass, and they do. getting into the attacking zone with Christian De Leon. Now they'll retreat a bit to hold possession. The American Outlaws in that north end zone imploring the United States to buck up defensively. Cisse with a nice clearance out of bounds, and it'll be a kick in for Guatemala. Cienfuegos trying to start the attack again. Did a nice job to kind of back out his man there in the attacking zone and corral the ball, but came with not as the ball went out of bounds over the dasher boards. Parno pushing forward to orchestrate the attack for the United States. Teyu brought down hard by Cienfuegos there on the right-hand side, and he will go to the sin bin. Teyu's taking some bumps. That's the first one that's generated a card. A good card shown to Cienfuegos. And he will sit in the penalty box for 2 minutes, giving the United States a man advantage. They'll try and capitalize on this to tie the game. .13 minutes left. Cienfuegos goes to the box for 2. We're going to find Teyu right in the middle of that Guatemalan zone. A chip ball, Roscoe comes out nicely to clear it. Only as far as Matt Clare, who misses high into the right. Guatemala will try and retain some possession and burn the clock on that power play. We're down to under a minute and 15 seconds on Cienfuegos' time in the box. Thus far, that Guatemalan power play defense has held up really well. Not a lot of great chances for the United States as we go under a minute on the penalty. They find Teyu in the middle, but he can't make anything happen, trying to get that nice little back heel to Farber, but it was picked off. He comes back up with possession. Will he fire from that distance? No. He's going to send it over to Clare, who will fire, but a nice save from Orozco. The ball was right at him. We're under 20 seconds on that penalty to Cienfuegos. Guatemala content to hold the ball to the boards, trying to get this man advantage taken care of. Under 5 seconds now. Maybe possibly one more chance here for United States on the power play. Cienfuegos back on the pitch. Oh, Teyu try something crafty. Almost went off the dasher glass and into the net, but was cleared out. Now Cienfuegos brings the ball back on the counter. He finds his brother, brings it back out to Cisse, trying to attack down that left-hand side now. Now reversal, some brother interplay there as Uzi manages to get around a defender and finish between the wickets, and it's a goal for the United States. The older brother shows that he can also score, and it is a IU double. As first Frank scoring, and now Uzi scoring in the 20th minute here. 10 minutes left in the period. Exactly 10 minutes on the clock, actually. Some nice interplay between the brothers. Frank finds Uzi, who managed to skip around the Guatemalan defender and then finish in the 5-hole on a Roscoe. Uzi, as we said, plays with his brother for Sonora, the reigning MASL champions. They both played at the University of West Virginia. The brothers are originally from Cameroon, although they do qualify as U.S. nationals. Now a long ball from Roscoe trying to find Cienfuegos. Whiffs on the first chance, and then the push. Cienfuegos is getting somewhat physical player. Burly kind of player, I would say. Ray took the push. And now the U.S. will establish possession as Bardo again brings the ball across the halfway line. Trying to find Farber there in the corner. Cleared out. Back into action here as Guatemala tries to retain possession. Trying to find De Leon, but can't do that in their attacking zone, and the United States will recover the ball. Guatemala definitely hanging back and then pressing somewhat aggressively right before the United States attacking zone. It seems like that's their MO going into the game. And of course, it created those two counter opportunities that led to goals in the first quarter. It's like that. They're content to let the United States bring it across the halfway line, but then they would call in hockey the neutral zone. They will trap and play close to the ball and press and try and create turnovers. Now it's forcing the United States to miss some passes, as they did just there with Matt Clare kicking out of bounds. We'll have a timeout here. Seven minutes and 49 seconds left in the second quarter. Recap the scoring real quick. For Guatemala, they had two goals within a minute of each other. Patrick Ruiz scoring in the 12th minute. And then shortly after that, in the 13th minute, Christian De Leon scored to make it 2-1. The opening goal for the United States was Frank Tayu scoring in the 6th minute. And then the United States managed to tie it up with the only goal thus far of the second quarter in the 20th minute. Frank's older brother, Uzi Tayu, tying it up. And that's where we stand now, 2-2. Only disciplinary action so far has been Diego Cienfuegos serving some time with a blue card Some nice action from Guatemala to spring a 3-on-2 here. Cienfuegos says the, yes. I'm sorry, that is Jose Perez with the goal for Guatemala. The United States got caught in their own attacking zone and led to a 3-on-2. It was really well played by Guatemala, finding Perez there wide open on the right-hand side. He was easily able to put it past Pardo on the left upper corner. I believe that was Cienfuegos. I'm not sure who came up with the assist, but it was Jose Perez who managed to score the goal here. In the 23rd minute for Guatemala. Guatemalans taking goal lead again. United States real quick coming back, trying to even the score. Again, this is a real impressive showing for Guatemala, having lost last night 6-1 against Ontario, and they were actually down 6-0 in that game before scoring a goal late in the fourth quarter. Of course, you could say Ontario has played the whole MASL season together. They were trying out some new players, but still to come in here against the United States and take that 3-2 lead after a defeat like that last night shows well for Guatemala. Foul here on the right-hand side, just outside of the attacking zone. Cisse will restart the action for the United States. Trying to find Taiyu, and he does in the attacking zone. With the back heel, back to Cisse, but unable to finish it. And now Guatemala back on what was a 3-on-2. Now Cisse gets back to make it a 3-on-3. And cleared by Farber, who's going to find Taiyu all the way wide open. And a nice clearance by Orozco, just putting it outside. That ball was just a touch heavy. Taiyu to try and get his brace here in the first half. Carroll restarting his own attacking half. Oh, some trading shots there, but Santana unable to find the net. Now the ball trickles all the way back to Pardo. Pardo eliciting a reaction from the crowd as Cienfuegos tripped on his own ankles. I don't think you would call Pardo breaking them, but somewhat of a shift in mentality thus far in the second quarter for Frank Taiyu as he has gone less trying to finish his chances and more trying to create for others. It worked out well for his brother scoring that second goal, but you can see he's trying to find his teammates with these one-touch passes in the attacking zone. Does have a physical advantage over the Guatemalan defenders. He's able to hold up play. Oh, a bad pass there from Matt Clare trying to find Cisse. Leads to a Guatemalan break. Was Patrick Ruiz coming up with that interception with the headband there. He's been active in the defensive end for Guatemala. Ruiz, one of the 4 players who plays for Lecistas FC, along with his brother Wanderlei. You see that trapping action in the neutral zone. Guatemala doing a good job of that, not allowing the United States to get really easy passes into the attacking end. Pardo now will take it upon himself to bring the ball up. Farber turns. He finds himself open. Oh, Cisse had a wide open chance. He missed it. Now the big shot there from Adrian Pulido. Unfortunately, nothing comes of it. It was better from the U.S. there, stringing together some passes to try and get the ball into the attacking zone. Farber now finds Teyu right at the top of the circle. Now to Farber. Farber just can't come up with that ball. Now Guatemala on the break. Pardo had to rush back to find his own, get to his own net as he had been up to try and start the offensive possession. A foul's going to force the Guatemalans to kind of restart and allow the United States to find their shape again. A launch of a shot from Guatemala. It's been a long time since Bakersfield had an arena football team, but that probably would have been good for 3 points if the Blitz were still playing here. So we go under 3 minutes here. United States trying to find that equalizer before we go to halftime. Nice pass to Farber. Tayu's going to draw the foul. To be honest, it didn't look like there was a lot of contact there, but he was able to sell it real well. And the United States will have a dangerous free kick opportunity here with Nelson Santana on top of the ball. He's got Farber right to the right of the goal mouth, Tayu right to the left. He tries to find Farber for the header. He just missed it, put it off the dasher boards, and the ball goes out of play. Santana seems to be the man they entrust with those set-piece opportunities. Obviously, he has a ton of experience. Nice spin move to free himself. And he will take that shot, but puts it high. On the rebound, his brother unable to find the goal mouth. And what would have been a 2-on-1 opportunity for Guatemala quickly dispatched by Israel Cisse, putting the ball out of bounds into the Guatemalan bench. There's some calls there for some dangerous play, as Cisse did have his spikes up rather high. If there was any intent there, he was just going to try and stop the goal scoring opportunity for Guatemala. Perez now trying to make things happen. Cisse managed to even stop it, but Perez turns and takes another shot. I'm sorry, that's Christian De Leon. Rather active there. And another interception by Guatemala in the neutral zone.